Hi, welcome to the next video on how to use Excel. In this video we're going to draw a very simple bar chart or column chart that looks like this. We'll do more advanced work on charts in the later one. If you haven't already done so, please open the file that's called Draw and Format a Bar Chart. Pause the video, open the file and then return. Once you've opened that file, you should see it's got two pages in that file. The one that's open at the moment, which is called Chart, if you look down in the tab, and if you move down to the bottom left you can see the other tab which is called Sort Table, which has had the data that we sorted previously. We're not going to use the Sort Table data this time, just the Chart tab. So if you return to the Chart tab to here. Now in here you see we've got our simple data table that our chart is made from and a chart that I've made previously. What we're going to do now is try use this data to make another chart that looks exactly the same as this, and I'll show you how to format it and everything else. Our first step is to have a very simple data table like this. I've found that if you leave this top cell here, the one I've just made red, if you leave that empty with no words or numbers in it, it's a lot easier to make charts than if you have a word or number there. If there's a heading there like species or zone or something, it tends to muck up the rest of the chart. Okay, so always make sure that cell's empty and it makes it a lot easier. So we begin by highlighting the data table, including all the headings. Then we want to tell Excel to insert a chart. So we go up to the top on our ribbon where it says Insert on the tabs up the top, push Insert, and then along there you see there's a whole lot of chart options, a column chart, a line chart, etc. We want to make a column chart, looks like this, so we click on that and you see there's a whole lot of options. We'll just start with our simple one on the left, the simple 2D column, which is this one here. Click on that and you see there's our default chart from Excel. We'll drag it across so we can see it next to the one we've already made. You can see that when it comes straight out of Excel it's pretty ugly. It's hard to see the words, they're tiny, it's got things on it you don't want. So let's clean it up. First, we don't really want these horizontal lines, so just click on a line till you see little circles on the row, then push delete on your keyboard like this, they disappear. Nice and simple. This legend's a bit wasting space out there. Let's drag it into our spreadsheet up into the middle here so that we've got lots of space. See the words very small, so let's make them a bit bigger. We go to Home up in the top left corner here, and if we push Home, and we can increase the font size by going to the font there. Let's make that about 20 points there. Lovely, nice big legend. See that somehow it's pushed our graph to the left, and if you click just in the space here in what's called the plot area, you can see a little box around that. We can drag that out to the right to fill all that space. Another thing you might notice is there's a huge lot of gap between our bars here. Well, most of this chart is just white space, so it's not actually telling you any information. So it's really easy to make those bars a bit closer together. Just click on any bar, right click on your mouse and you'll see Format Data Series. If you click on that, you get a nice box like this. It says Series Options at the top. Move down to here where it says Gap Width, and if you make this really wide, a wide gap, you get lots of gap and hardly any bar. If you make it really narrow, they all merge together. That's a bit too much. Let's drag it back to about 50 or 60, and that's much nicer. Filled up the space much better, got rid of all that white space. Push close, we've done that. Now we need some bigger words down the bottom for our legend along the horizontal axis here. Just click on one of the words, you see a box come around the axis there. Again, we can increase the font size. We can either type a number up here like we did before, or we just click on the A here to increase the font size, and you see as we do it, it gets a lot bigger. It's got so big now that down here it's moved off the chart, so we click on the plot area again, so we've got this box around it. Move to that little square there, drag that up, and you've got it in. Probably those words are a bit big now, so let's click on the bottom there, and let's make it a smaller font up the top, down to like that. Looks nice, okay? Let's increase the font on the other axis, on the y-axis here, the vertical axis. Click on the line, so you see the line and a box around the line, and again let's just increase the font size there. That's looking good there, like that. It's got 0.0, 2.0. We don't really want decimal places here. That just makes it messy. So it's easy to get rid of that. We'll just right click now, and you'll see on our mouse it's got down the bottom Format Axis. If we click on Format Axis, you can see we've got a whole lot of number options here. Axis options, number, fill, line color. If we go to number up the top, you'll see it has a cell there for decimal places. At the moment there's one decimal place. If we change that to 0, it changes, and we push close, it changes that so we've got no decimal places on the chart. We've still got decimal places over here on the left in the data, you'll notice, but not on the chart. We don't really need them on the chart. The other thing we clearly need on the chart is a label for this y-axis. What do these numbers refer to? So we need to make a bit of space to put a label in there, and then we need to put a label in. Click in the middle of the chart. Let's drag the chart, including that axis, to the right, so we've got a bit of space. Then we want to insert a label. An easy way to do that is if you look up the very top here where it says Chart Tools on the ribbon at the top, you see there's 3 options or 3 tabs under the word Chart Tools: Design, Layout, and Format. If you go to the Layout tab here, you'll see down here you can add a chart title, axis titles, legends, data labels, etc. We want to add an axis title. On the y-axis or the vertical axis, we want to put a title there. Click on that cell, and you'll see now we have the option of putting a title on the horizontal axis along the bottom. We don't really need that, but we do want one on the vertical axis. So we click on vertical axis, and you can see at the moment there's none there, but we want a rotated title, one that's got the words going up the screen. Click on that, and you'll see here it gives us a little title. At the moment it's tiny, and it's just got axis title in there, so we just delete that word axis title, and now we just write in what we want, which is copying the previous chart, average number of plants. Okay. Give it a capital A there. Got what we want there. It's a little bit small, so we'll click on the box, back to home, increase the font size up the top here, nice and big. It's bold text now. If you like bold, you can leave it as such. If you don't, you can take off the bold like that, and we've got our chart with everything we want. Now we can just move things around to give a bit more space. It's a bit crammed up on the left there. Move that axis title down and across a little bit. Move this label, the legend, across over there. And we've got a nice chart. Now, one thing you might notice as difference between that chart and the one I've made is the lines on the X and the Y axis here are very fine and hard to read in this chart. If you print it, they might be hard to see. So we can easily make those thicker. Click on the line again, so you see that box coming on the line and the axis. On the axis, if we right click on that again, it'll get Format Axis. This time, instead of pushing number like we did last time, we go down until we get the option called Line Style. Line Style at the top has width, which is the width of the line. At the moment it's 0.75 points wide. Let's bring that up to, say, 2 points. You can see as we change this, the line's getting thicker. 2 point looks pretty good. If you want to change the colour of the line, we can go up to Line Colour. At the moment it's a grey colour, as you can see here. Change it to black if you wish. Click on black. Nice black line. And close. Looks pretty good. Do the same thing on the bottom axis here, the x-axis. On the axis here, right click so we see Format Axis. Down to Line Colour. Make that a solid line and choose our colour. We want black. And we want a thicker line, so we go up here to 2 point instead of 0.75. Close. Click outside our chart. You see we've got a nice lovely chart made very quickly, very easily. It's a breeze to do that in Excel. In the next tube we'll show you how to do some more sophisticated things in making charts and how to make lots of charts very quickly and easily. That's all for now. Bye.